Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a channel all about fiber art and mainly about punch needles. So if you're interested, subscribe on the red button down below. So welcome back for those who are already here. I passed 5,000 subscribers the other day and I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for that. Today I've got a video inspired by the autumn vibes that have been going on here in Europe. I'm sure it's not everywhere in the world. I've got some messages that it's actually quite warm still. But over here it's been raining, there's been a storm, it's getting colder, and the leaves are turning their gorgeous shades of brown and yellow and red, and I love it. So I've made a design inspired on these autumn leaves, and I've got lovely earthy tones going on in this design, and I'm really ready to take you with me. Of course, I've made a kit, so you can get the kit in my shop. You can find the link in the description down below. In this video, I'll be using all the materials that are in the kit. So I hope you're excited. Let's start and get to punching. The first thing we need to do is copy the pattern. I purchased myself a light pad the other day and it's really easy to use. Switch on the light, put on the pattern and then on top the canvas. And as you can see, you can easily see the pattern and copy it. One trick here though is that you need to be in a dark room. Otherwise, the surrounding light will prevent you from seeing the pattern anyway. If you don't have a light pad, then you can simply hang the pattern on the window and it will do the trick. Once copied and back in the light, I like to touch up my pattern and see if I've copied everything right. It's best to reference the original drawing for this. Now on to the punch needle. It's very important to set it to the correct height. I'm even going to measure it. I'm taking my needle to a length of 2.8 centimeters or 1.1 inches. Just simply measure it like this and then you're ready to go. You could also use the Oxford Mini number 14. That will have approximately the same length and it will work as well. We will start with these mini skeins of wool yarn. If you pull out the yarn like this and hold on to the paper wrappings, then you can easily use the yarn and keep it in a skein. Thread the needle with it and we can start. If you're not familiar with the laver needle yet, you can go to the instructional video, which is now linked in the upper right corner of your screen. During this entire project, we're going to pull all the tails to the front of the canvas like this. This will give a clean front and a clean back. So in the end, you can decide which side you prefer. The leaves have been divided in two and we're going to use two colors in one leaf. I'm now stitching the outline. I'm using quite small stitches to make sure that the edges are well defined, and in the middle I'll be using slightly larger stitches. Just go around like this and now go back and make your stitches slightly larger. Make sure you fill in the entire area to make sure that also the front of your piece where the loops are looks good. Be careful not to stitch it too tight though. That won't do any good. Be sure to check your progress on the front regularly to see if it's all to your liking. Then cut off the tail at the tip of your needle, and the tails in the front will fall in between the loops. And now start your next leaf. As you can see, I've got quite a bit left from the green. I'm first going to clean it up a little bit by cutting all the tails to the same height as the loops. This way the tails disappear in between them and you won't be able to see it again. So this is my other shade of green, using it the same way and in the same setting. Make sure to punch directly next to the other area so you don't get any gaps. Make small stitches for the edges and then move your way to the middle with somewhat larger stitches. And there you go. Clean up the tails. And then it's time to do the stem as well. You can choose which color you prefer. I like to do the more bluish green. Pull the tail to the back and make small stitches. So you're only going to do one row, and in the front this means just one small row of loops, and you want them to be one straight line. Right here you can just punch over the other stitches and even punch in between them. That's no problem at all. I like to clean up my work in between stitching areas, but you can also do this all at the end. As you can see on the loopy side, the leaves are not that defined yet, but they will once you punch the background. We're going on to the next. And for that I've used these lovely autumn tones. We're starting with the burnt orange, and I'm also going to do some burnt orange in the large leaf on the bottom. So this is basically the same as the other ones. Make small stitches around the edges. Make sure you make the shape of the leaf with the point in it. And in the middle you can do slightly larger stitches, but keep looking to the other side to make sure that the area fills up nicely. With this larger, slightly more complicated shape, I like to go up and down rather than round and round until I reach the middle. This way I can easily make the pointy shapes in the leaf. Always check the loopy side to see if the area filled up, and as you can see here I've got some small holes, so what I'm going to do is from the other side I'm going to punch over the other stitches to put in some extra loops in the front. This works perfectly. Because we're making a autumn palette, I want to give this leaf some autumn colors as well, so I'm going to punch the veins in the burnt orange as well. Punch up the other sides of the leaf and make sure you make small stitches along the sides. This will give you crisp, clean lines in the front. When you cut off tails in the front, you could push with your finger below to make it easier to make them the same height as the loops. Also, these leaves will be more defined once you fill in the background. On to the next one. For that we're using this lovely wool silk blend from BC Garn, and we're going to fill up the entire area, but we're starting with the outline with small stitches. Filling in the different areas of the leaf, and we're also going to go back and forth rather than round in a circle. This side is looking rather nicely as well. In the end, you could also choose to make this the front of your piece, and on the other side you've got this lovely texture. It's just what you prefer. So now for the background, we're going to fill it up with the yellow. You can choose to punch from the front and have the flat stitch on the front, or you can punch it from the back like I'm going to do and have the loops on the front. It's whatever you prefer. Both sides look really great. So make sure you go around all the different areas to make the front super clean. And as always, around the edges of different shapes you can do the smaller stitches, and in between areas you can do larger stitches. Make sure to check the front regularly to see if the loops are filling up the area. But if you choose to make this side the front in the end, then you might want to make all the stitches the same length and just make sure it looks good. I like to make small segments like this and punch round and round, then cut it off and start a new area. This area is now filled up nicely, and on to the next. Let me show you how to best handle the edges, because they can be quite tricky. As you can see, the edges won't be very straight, but to make it easier, you can not go all the way to the edge as I've done here, and keep it slightly off the edge so you can easily push the needle down. But even so, you will have to accept the fact that the sides will be somewhat wonky. I don't really mind. I think it's got a lovely charm to it. Let me show you more closely. If you stay off the side just a little bit and you can easily push the needle down, then you can make quite straight lines. Now let's take care of the mess we created. In the front we've got all kinds of tails sticking out. We're going to use our snippers or scissors to cut them off, and we'll do that to the exact length of the loops. This way you won't be able to see them once you've finished. After that, we're also going to push some loops in place to make sure that all the details we want will be visible. As you can see, some of the loops have got a life of their own, and that will interfere with our design. So we're going to go around all the edges. You can simply use the tip of your punch needle for this and push all the loops in the right direction. It might seem silly, but it does make a huge difference. And can you tell? Do you see the straight line of this stem? So that was it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to purchase the kit, then you can find the link in the description box down below. If you want to support my channel and see more videos like this and help me make more videos like this, then I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking the red button that says subscribe down below. It's for free, so you can do it right away. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.